What if everything you've been taught to suppress, your anger, your jealousy, your hunger for power, isn't your weakness, but your potential buried alive? From the earliest years, we are told to be good, to be calm, to be kind, to keep the peace, bite our tongues, and smile politely through the noise of betrayal, frustration, and disappointment. The result? We become fractured beings. We amputate parts of ourselves just to be accepted. And in the process, we lose the raw energy that was meant to drive our transformation. Your worst impulses might be your strongest allies, but only if you learn how to wield them. Anger isn't just rage, it's a signal, a fire. It tells you that a boundary has been crossed, that a lie is being swallowed, that something inside you is demanding change. But you were taught to choke it down, to call it immaturity, to fear it. But anger, channeled, becomes clarity. It burns away self-deception. It makes cowards bold, and the silent speak. Not all anger is destructive. The right kind of anger saves you. Envy isn't just toxic comparison, it's a compass, a mirror that shows you what you truly desire but are too afraid to pursue. Envy points to suppressed ambition. It says, "Look closer, you want that. Now ask yourself why you haven't gone after it." But instead of decoding envy, we shame ourselves for having it. We judge our jealousy and pretend we're above it, while silently resenting those who dared take what we didn't have the courage to claim. Even fear, the emotion most associated with paralysis, isn't always the enemy. Fear is attention. It sharpens your awareness. It heightens your senses. It shows you where you're not yet free. Your worst impulses carry messages. You've just been taught to ignore them. Why? Because a controlled population is an obedient one. If everyone believed their raw drives could be transformed into personal power, they'd become harder to manipulate. So we were told that desire is dangerous, anger is sinful, and power is corrupt. And we believed it, because the lie came wrapped in virtue. But deep inside, you know there's more to the story. There's a reason why the most magnetic people you meet are often unapologetically intense. They're not afraid of their own emotional weather. They use it. They move with their instincts, not against them. To be clear, this isn't a call to indulge in every craving or tantrum. That's not power. That's chaos. The key is not repression, it's integration. And that's where the old philosophers meet modern minds. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate." What you repress gains power. What you face becomes your tool. The darkness you hide from is the same darkness that can fuel your rise, if you're brave enough to confront it. You've likely been told to meditate your impulses away, to soften them, silence them, numb them. But what if instead you learn to sit with them, not to obey them, but to listen? To ask your rage, what injustice have I allowed too long? To ask your lust, what longing have I buried under shame? To ask your greed, what void am I trying to fill and why haven't I honored that hunger directly? This is what power looks like. Not denial, not indulgence, but dialogue. When you stop pretending to be pure, you begin to become whole. The truth is, the people who succeed in life, who build, lead, dominate, are not free of dark impulses. They've simply made peace with them. They know how to convert shadow into strategy. They take what others run from and turn it into momentum. Think about the leaders who shaped history, the artists who created movements, the thinkers who tore down systems. Were they calm, always composed, perfectly rational? No. They were obsessive. They were intense. They were fueled by things society called dangerous: obsession, audacity, vengeance, ego, vengeance. But because they didn't cower before these drives, they mastered them. We live in an age obsessed with emotional hygiene. Stay positive, stay balanced, stay grateful. But life is not a yoga retreat. Life is war. And if all you bring to the battlefield is a set of affirmations, you're going to get crushed. You need your full self. You need your instincts, your defiance, your hunger. You need your shadows, because they carry the part of you that refuses to settle, the part of you that's still alive. Ask yourself this: what's the emotion you fear most, the one you never speak of? That one is your starting point. Write it down. Don't moralize it. Don't run from it. Study it. Where did it begin? What does it want? What would happen if, instead of suppressing it, you redirected it toward something that matters? Not every emotion deserves expression, but every emotion deserves examination. When you start doing this, your internal world shifts. You stop being a passive passenger of your life, and you become its driver. You stop asking for permission to feel, to want, to fight. And you begin creating the conditions where your darkest fuel becomes your deepest strength. This is where resilience is born, not in comfort, but in confrontation. And as you build this new relationship with your impulses, something powerful happens. People notice. You speak with more weight, you move with more purpose, you become harder to offend, harder to shake, harder to ignore. Because you're no longer playing the game of repression. You're playing the deeper game of transformation. The world needs fewer people pretending to be good. It needs more people becoming whole. You don't become powerful by pretending to be light. You become powerful by integrating your shadow. So let this be the invitation you weren't given as a child. To stop hiding. To stop performing. To stop amputating the wild, raw parts of yourself just to be liked. Reclaim your ambition. Reclaim your anger. Reclaim your edge. Because the parts of you that society told you to silence may be the very parts that were designed to lead. And if that sounds dangerous, it's because it is. Real power always is. If this message found you at the right time, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to this channel if you're ready to go deeper into the shadows. Hit like and turn on notifications, because what's coming next is built for minds like yours. The world doesn't need more self-help. It needs more self-command. And that begins with you exactly as you are. All of you.